Hi everybody, I did my analysis and unfortunately there is no setup that I could see possibly coming up in the next few days or so. I thought I might record a day trading session that I'm planning to do today. My short-term analysis shows me that there are three currency pairs that could potentially give me short trades. These are the British pound, Swiss franc, British pound, Canadian dollar and New Zealand Canadian dollar. So I'll go through quickly each of these pairs and what I'm actually looking for. So first off, we've got the British pound, Swiss franc, and we're looking at the 15 minutes chart at the moment. I'm going to be looking for short setups, and as you can see right now, price on an intraday basis has certainly not been going down at all. The case for this pairs right now would just be to sit tight and continue watching. You see on my charts a few lines that has been drawn in. So these are levels that I'm going to be looking at because they could potentially be acting as support and resistance. These lines are drawn from price action that happened the day before. But I only do this for day trading. I don't use yesterday's price action in order to draw long-term support and resistance level. So we've got a few levels here. I was hoping to see some sort of resistance happening at this level 1.2854, but apparently that did nothing. Prices shot straight through that. So we've got two more levels above that. If price does continue to go up, this is where I'm going to be looking for trades. That's one level. We've got one more up here. And the way that I'm putting my stop loss is that I'm going to be using these level as safe level. So when I'm putting a stop, ideally I like to have it behind at least one of these level here for safety. Next we're looking at the British pound Canadian dollar, and looking on a short side, what has happened so far since today's trading day start from here. We've got a few pushes below a support level. Ideally, I like to see this one been broken. The last 15 minutes candle has just closed below that. And this one is the deciding factor for me. I've got about 12 more minutes before this candle closes. If the candle can make a lower low and it can close well below this white line here. So we're looking at 1.7080 exactly. If that's the case, then that would trigger an entry for me. And the last pair is New Zealand CAD. This one has already made a move a couple hours ago, and I was trying to see if there was any pullback so I could enter the trade. So as I was watching, so this candle, that's when I got myself ready. Any pullback to here or here, I would have entered using a sell limit. That didn't happen. And then this level was broken by this candle here. Again, I was watching for any pullback. Hasn't happened at all, and looks like prices continue to push down. So the goal for this pair is to see later on in the session, perhaps towards the end of London, the beginning of New York, if price can actually come back up to here. That's where I'm going to be looking at taking a short, catching price hopefully as it does that. So those are the three pairs that I'm watching for today's day trading. I'll pause the recording and I will continue recording if there is any changes or if I'm going to be taking a trade. So we'll see you in a little bit. Right, now we're coming back to the British pound Canadian dollar. The previous candle had just closed exactly the way I wanted, and I've already worked out my numbers. I'm looking for just a small pullback. Looking to enter this trade at 1.7075. I actually put my stop loss above the consolidation that was happening during the Asia session. So that's 20 pips away, and we've got a target of 40 pips for 2 times reward to risk. Hopefully that gets filled within the next 2 or 3 candles. If it doesn't, then I would have to reassess. Sometimes the move could happen so quick. If it does get down to halfway through my target, I would classify that as I'm a bit late to the trade and I need to take off the sell limit order. So just going back to British pound, Swiss franc, nothing has happened there, and New Zealand CAD, nothing is much there. So right now the entire focus is going to be trading British pound Canadian dollar, looking to enter short on a slight pullback. So we'll see how this one goes. I don't like it when I talked about something possibly happening and then it happened but just not in my favor. But in the case of the British pound Canadian dollar short, it looks like price has already moved down quite significantly, and yeah, it's reached halfway through my planned target. So now I have no choice but to actually remove the sell limit, because now this move is classified as a quick move, and if I'm leaving my order there, it may get filled later on, but then I wouldn't know if it's the right time to enter or not, because a lot of the time these strong move happens and then there will be impulse pullbacks. Those are a little bit trickier to trade, so I need to see how the pullback happens before I can actually try to re-enter the trade. So for now, this would probably be classified as a missed opportunity. If it does come back up again to this level here, then yes, I will be looking once again at another opportunity to short. But if it doesn't, then that's just how trading goes. So I'll pause the recording for now, and we'll see if we can get another shot at this. I'll say this is a false breakout above here, but price action so far as today has shown no signs of sellers in control at all. In fact, it's showing the opposite. You can almost draw a straight line up there, and that will be the trend line. So it will be interesting to see if this level here would actually hold. However, like I said, I would like to take the short from up here and not somewhere down there, because it could impact my reward to risk ratio. Nevertheless, it's good to continue tracking this and to see how this develops as the day goes by. And New Zealand CAD hasn't really done much at all. So we'll see how this day unfolds and to see how it ends. This is how much of a difference 3 15-minute candle can make a price chart look. We had really strong push down from sellers here, looking at the British pound Swiss franc, and it's now almost clearing out the last intraday support level that I have. As much as I like to take a trade right now, I am extra cautious because this could be a fake breakout. So I will continue to watch this, perhaps leading into the New York session as well. If this level does indeed break, there could be a chance for me to enter on a slight pullback when it retests either this or this level. I just want to show you that it can change very quickly as well. British pound CAD, nothing much has happened since the last 45 minutes. New Zealand CAD as well, just really going nowhere. So the interest at the moment has shifted back to this pair here, and we'll see if this would allow me to take a short trade later on in the day. So we'll come back to that later. Welcome back. It's now the beginning of the New York session, and as you can see on my screen, I was right about being extra cautious when it comes to price breaking the last support level for the day. Indeed, it did break. However, it was a false move, and now price has swung all the way back up to make a new high for the day. Switching back to the British pound Canadian dollar, and you can see that a reversal has also happened on this pair. Price has shot up, and it looks like it stopped at the support and resistance line that I drew earlier. Right now, there could be a potential short trade setting up. However, looking at the price action, particularly the increase in volatility, I don't think that's going to be the case. In fact, given the strength of the move, my guess is that this would continue up further, breaking above the high set during Asia, and would possibly finish bullish for the day. Back to the pound Swiss franc. Looks like buyers have continued to push price up, and now we're looking at 2.5 hours into the New York session. Looks like this pair is not going to give me any possible trade for today. Let's see how the New Zealand Canadian dollar finished. Well, this was the only pair out of the three that has continued and sustained the downward move, but unfortunately there was no pullback whatsoever. That's it from me for today. I hope you have enjoyed this live recording to see my thought process and my analysis as price action unfolds throughout the day. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.